and unique unto the individual, and he's carrying his mass very well here tonight.
When he says he stays within 15 to 20 pounds of his contest weight, is that unusual? I mean, I would think you should.
Yeah, that's not unusual.
Yeah.
It's very much in vogue now. Actually, maybe 10 pounds is in vogue. It makes dieting a lot easier, and plus you train your muscle and not have to rely on getting rid of a lot of body fat before a contest.
John Switzer leads the stage. The middleweights are complete. We'll have the results from Southern California in the Ironman competition. Let's do it. Number 3. Ooh, is Sean Ray's number 1. John Switzer finishing 3rd.
Oh, wow. Embarrassing.
Number 2 is Chris Chica. Oh, you are shut out, buddy. And the number 1 middleweight, Steven Alvarez.
He's got to feel good. He fooled me.
And now to the light heavyweights. Colt Downer, our first competitor. The numbers, 5'9", 192. He's 24 years old, and he's out of Mesa, Arizona.
Once again, we're back to that hot weather state of Arizona. And I guess when it's hot, you got a lot of frustrations and stress, so you get in the gym and work it off. And come into the bodybuilding realm and, you know, display it to your best of your ability. He could be a little harder right off the bat. I can tell you that by comparison to our last champion.
Abs.
Yeah.
Soft.
Yeah, he's a little bit out of shape. But I think, you know, just because you're not on the money doesn't mean you should not compete. So it's good that he's here at least using this as a learning opportunity for his next contest.
Former football player. He's attending ASU, Arizona State University. He's been, well, here, I just got the lowdown.
Yeah.
He's been competing for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Well, there it is.
This is it. That answers our question.
Well, you got to start somewhere, and
That's
unfortunately, starting on national television is not necessarily the best place to do it. But it's good. He's going to have a lot of experience. He's going to have the video footage to learn from this, and where else can, you know, it's a great opportunity for him. 2 weeks.
Began bodybuilding 5 years ago, but this is his 2nd week of competition.
Wow.
Colt Downer. And that brings us to Carl Farwell. He's 5'9", 186 pounds. 33 years old, so we're going from a 24-year-old to a 33-year-old. Let's look at the difference and the savvy.
Before I can even get a close-up, I'll tell you the difference should be in density and quality. I think the older you are, the more maturity your muscles have. But that's not necessarily the case, especially when you throw in other factors like dieting and intensity when you're training. But you can see, I think, off the bat, he has a little bit more, I don't want to say old man muscle, but it's matured. It's like wine. It's a little finer with time.
He's been training for 13 years.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a compliment to the older bodybuilders out there, is that the older you get, the more refined your muscles get, and the better control you have in displaying them on stage.
You know what? A lot of people begin bodybuilding because they're overweight. He began bodybuilding because he was too thin.
Too thin. Well, that's a good way to start, you know. Get big, impress the ladies.
Wonder if he did.
I think he did.
Javier Datis is our next competitor. He is 5'7", 190 pounds, 23 years old, out of Lancaster, California.
Hey, a little bit of Prince music for us.
He's done some competing in Texas. He won the Mr. Big Springs Texas National Qualifier.
I can see why it's called Mr. Big. This guy's massive by comparison to the guys we've seen here tonight. He's hitting the Christmas tree in the lower part of his back.
Yeah.
That's a good indicator of whether or not you're in shape when you can see that detail. And he's in shape here tonight.
He's a former wrestler.
Hey, there he goes. I can do that. When nobody's watching.
Look at him. Look at him. He's confident.
Yeah.
Well, he brings an attitude up to the stage, and it's a fun attitude.
I think every bodybuilder has an attitude. It's the way they display it that makes him different from everybody else. And right now, he's showing that he's confident, he's pleased with his training and his diet, and he's having a good time here tonight.
All right. Javier Datis leads the stage, and what do you say we get right to it? The light heavyweights, we have 3 to choose from. Datis, Downer, and Farwell. And I'm going to let you take your choice right now.
I'm going to let you take the choice for a change.
Well,
I was way off last time.
But you were bragging on Datis, so I'm going to go with him. You really seem to like...
I think if I had to go with someone, it'd be him.
All right.
Just because of the overall size. He was very good.
Finishing 3rd, Carl Farwell. 2nd, Colt Downer, 205 pounds. He's 26 years old. And he's not far from home. He's from Marina Del Rey.
I used to live there.
Did you really?
Yeah, I didn't see him, though.
You never bumped into Lauren?
Well, I was always at the Cheesecake Factory or Benihana.
Were you once a little pudge?
I wasn't a pudge. I think I was relative, because I played football for 10 years, Joe. So I never really had to come from being overweight. If anything, I had to eat more to get bigger. But when I moved out to Marina Del Rey back in '88, I found myself, instead of training at Gold's Fitness, spending more time at the Cheesecake Factory. So I had to get out of there in a hurry.
My kind of gym.
He's in good condition. I think that in relativity to the last competitor, he's a little bit smoother, though, in the thighs, especially in the thighs. You can see it there. But he's got a lot of mass. He's very round.
He's very thick.
Yeah. And in order to get that detail, it's not going to come from training necessarily. It'll come from dieting. And that comes with time.
Lauren Jones leaves the stage. And that will leave us with just one more heavyweight, Darren Llewellyn. There's the board on Darren. He's 5'10", 225 pounds. He's 26 years old. And he's making his dramatic entrance right now.
He's taking control of the stage right off the bat.
You got about a minute and a half. You got to do some damage in that time. You got to impress everybody.
Well, once again, the music has a tendency to be a reflection of your personality, and he looks like a hard-driving rock and roller and probably trains with the same amount of intensity as he's posing to.
Well, he's had a hard-driving year. In 1990, he competed in the Arizona Gold Cup. He was a winner in the juniors in Wisconsin.
Wow.
He's 26 years old. He's from Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Oshkosh.
By gosh.
That's where our Miss Olympia champion was from, Corey Everson. I think that was her name. She's from Wisconsin.
Oh, how quickly he forgets.
No, but they have a lot of bodybuilders coming out of there as of late. And he's in good condition. To be critical, once again, I think he's a couple of pounds too heavy, but by relativity to the other athletes on stage tonight, I think he's got the most complete package out of all of them. He's big, and the ponytail, as you notice, the ponytails are now in style for men. If you have that long hair, have the guys slick it.
Whoa! What happened? He just slipped. Too much oil.
Yeah, well, the stage is slippery. I know that from being up there, that the putting the stage together was not an easy task, and with all those athletes and the oil on the ground, you can lose your balance very easy. He's playing with you now.
Show us your thighs. Where's the sweep? All right.
But see, you can see he's maybe a couple of pounds too heavy, but other than that, he's in great, has a great overall package by comparison to the other guys.
He's been training for 10 years, and this is a big day for him. Darren Llewellyn leaves the stage. We'll have the results of the heavyweights from the Ironman competition right after this. Isaac Evans.
There it is.
You got it.
Yeah.
First place goes to Darren Llewellyn.
Right.
Llewellyn wins the heavyweights. Now we're going to bring all 5 back for a pose down. And how does this figure into the overall judging here?
This can be the most crucial part of the contest if you're in first or second place, or if you're unsure of yourself. If you're trying to play catch-up, now's the time to pull out all the stops. I think this is the opportunity to use the best poses that you've got and try to attract the judges' eyes so that all eyes are on you.
When you're in competition, do you, I mean, you're really into it. You must like the pose down.
I do and I don't. On one hand, I like the idea that we're struggling for positions and trying to get the judges' eyes, and I like that. But what I don't like is the anticipation and the weight. It can be tremendous, and there's a lot of nervousness going on in those final few moments.
All right, the moment is now. We have our 5 champs out there. Only one's going to win the overall. Let's go to the stage. All right, let's do it. You see your 5, Juan Vasquez. Let's find him now. He's
the little guy.
He's the little one.
He's the bantamweight. Once again,
they're going to mix it up now.
yeah, this is where they're going to start throwing elbows.
Darren Meade. Let me give everybody's name out here. Oh, they're pushing. Stephen Alvarez, Javier Datis, and Darren Llewellyn. Go for it.
Yeah, well, see, Juan jumped out of the light. Good job. Look at him. He's the aggressor.
He is.
The little man, I think he wants to fight. I'm getting excited. Look at him.
It's a brawl.
Sometimes, though, in the pose down, you jump out of the light trying to get close as you can to the audience and the judges, and that works to your detriment. The bigger guy normally likes to take center stage and tower over his competition. But I think Juan has attracted a lot of attention to himself by being very aggressive on stage, and he has the physique that will keep your eyes focused on him. Smart move by Juan.
And he's going to keep his ground, hold his fort.
I like Juan. I mean, it's unusual that you see the bantamweight being so aggressive, but it's also unusual to see a bantamweight as complete as he is with this lineup.
Let's see if the judges like Juan. Vasquez, Meade, Alvarez, Datis, and Llewellyn.
Look at how small he is next to the heavyweight.
Really is.
Short. He's not small by any means, but you can see the difference. Bantam to heavy.
All right, let's listen in for the announcement of our overall champion.
1990 Ironman is also the dude that became the farthest from
Whoa!
Look at that. Who says the little man can't do it?
I'm not going to call it an upset, but I'll tell you what. Chalk one up for the little one.
Big things come in small packages, and that's the way it is with Juan here tonight. I'm happy for him.
Juan Vasquez wins the overall of the Ironman, and we will be back to interview our